Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to our show, Diet Myths. Today, we're going to be talking to you about apple cider vinegar. Now, I'm sure many of you see it as a condiment that you could add to your salads, or maybe you're not really sure of how to use it. But research has shown us that apple cider vinegar actually has many health benefits.
What is apple cider vinegar? Apple cider vinegar is a completely natural product. Apple juice is fermented to hard apple cider, which is fermented a second time to apple cider vinegar. By using this natural product in our homes, we instantly decrease the consumption of unnatural chemicals in our daily lives. Here are some ways you can apply apple cider vinegar to your lifestyle. Number 1. For digestion, gas, and bloating. Vinegar contains malic acid, which can help common digestive issues like constipation or acid reflux. Number 2. For sleep issues. Many people swear by a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a cup of hot water with honey before bed, citing its sleep-inducing powers and that it promotes a more restful night's sleep. Number 3. For hair. It is widely known that apple cider vinegar can be used as a rinse for your hair after shampooing to add healthy body and shine. Number 4. For face. Did you know that apple cider vinegar can help regulate the pH of your skin? Dilute apple cider vinegar with 2 parts water and spread the concoction over your face with a cotton ball as a toner. Number 5. For diabetes and weight loss. Apple cider vinegar lowers glucose levels and may be helpful for diabetics. It has also been touted as a weight loss aid, as it is said to help you feel fuller and eat less. Number 6. For a non-toxic cleaning spray. Apple cider vinegar can surprisingly provide an excellent, cheap alternative to many cleaning products. It absorbs odors and has antibacterial properties.
So let's look at the nutritional profile of apple cider vinegar. Now, 1 tablespoon has approximately 3 calories. So it's not really much, and it's not a contributor to your energy intake or your caloric needs. It's just an extra condiment that you can add to your food or throughout the day. But this little vinegar differs from all the different types of vinegars because it is made out of apple. That's where the name apple cider vinegar comes from. And now this vinegar might not have many minerals. Maybe at most it has a little bit of potassium, but nothing significant to give you any need. But it is loaded with antioxidants, and it's really been proven to help with a lot of things. So let's start with the main thing that apple cider vinegar has shown to help, and that is diabetes. And the link between apple cider vinegar and diabetes comes in with the insulin sensitivity. So anybody that could be suffering from type 2 diabetes in particular is not getting enough insulin secreted out of the pancreas. Or maybe they have enough insulin, but they're eating way too much, and the insulin and carbohydrates is not matching, because that's what the insulin works on. The carbohydrates you have in your body are the ones that you're eating in your food. And where apple cider vinegar plays a role is that it increases that sensitivity you have to the carbohydrate. So your insulin will be more sensitive to the amount of carbohydrates in it. Therefore, it won't let the carbohydrates or sugars in your bloodstream spike. And that is very important, and that's the key with diabetics, is that we don't want to have that spike in blood sugar or a spike in the amount of carbohydrates they're intaking. So please stay tuned, because we are going to discuss further how apple cider vinegar and insulin work together and other things that you can benefit from when you take in your apple cider vinegar. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So like we said, apple cider vinegar does really help with the insulin sensitivity. So if you are someone that is a type 2 diabetic, maybe you should consider taking apple cider vinegar whenever you're having a high carbohydrate meal. So anything that contains a lot of starch, a lot of rice, bread, or pasta, you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to improve the sensitivity of your own insulin. or if you want to decrease the amount of sugar you have when you're fasting. So when you wake up in the morning and you check your blood sugar, if you find it to be really high, some studies have shown that taking 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with some warm water before bedtime can reduce the amount of blood sugar you have. So this is something that you could potentially do. And now speaking about insulin, insulin doesn't only function with diabetics, it's also a main function that we focus on with weight loss. So the more insulin you secrete because you've consumed a lot of high carbohydrate foods, the more fat you'll be storing. So you really want to make sure you're very insulin sensitive. And again, apple cider vinegar plays a great role with that. And also, a lot of research has shown that it's not only the insulin sensitivity, but it's also that feeling of fullness. So they've given many people apple cider vinegar in their food, so either in their salads or in their meals, and they've realized that those people tend to feel fuller for a longer period of time. Therefore, they cut calories the next time they eat. On average, when they counted the amount of calories they cut in a day, it was around 200 to 275 calories. It might not seem much, but it is a decent amount to cut off for weight loss. Another study that's been conducted measured the amount of weight people can lose if only they added that apple cider vinegar. So they haven't changed any of their dietary habits. All they did was add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for 12 weeks. The average weight loss was around 1 to 1.5 kilos. Again, not something very significant, but if you did improve on your dietary habits and added that apple cider vinegar, you could perhaps lose a bit more. So stay tuned because we have some more information to cover on apple cider vinegar. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So now let's look at the relationship between apple cider vinegar and heart disease. Now we all know that heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in the world. So all around the world, one of the primary and actually the number one leading cause of death is heart disease. And apple cider vinegar, because of its high amount of antioxidants, can actually help with heart disease. And basically, it could help with lowering your blood pressure. It could help with taking out that bad cholesterol, so the LDL cholesterol. It could help by decreasing it in your body. It is a good thing, again, to add to a healthy diet. So the main idea is you can't rely on one food. So you can't only rely on apple cider vinegar as the fix-it-all for no matter what you eat. What you can do is you can improve your dietary habits, have more fruits and vegetables and natural foods, and then add in the apple cider vinegar to actually get the maximum effect, whether it was in, improving your insulin sensitivity or losing your weight or actually improving your heart disease or your heart condition. Now, like I've said, many research has been conducted on it, and the current ongoing research is on the link of cancer and apple cider vinegar. Now, a lot of the research has been done on rats and not on humans. So it's inconclusive that apple cider vinegar can help slow the tumor growth of any type of cancer cells. And most of the research has been done on rice vinegar, which is a completely different type of vinegar. So it's very important for you to take this in moderation. It is a very acidic substance. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is on average a good amount that you can take, and you don't have to take it on its own as a medicinal amount. You can always add it to salads, so to your greens, if you're making any form of dressing, if you're marinating your food, it's always a good idea to add it, to sneak it in so nobody notices the difference in flavors. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode and benefit from it, and we'll see you all next time. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to our show, Diet Myths. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about foods that I'd like you to consume every single day. These are foods that if you choose to have them all the time and every day, they will actually boost your health and improve your health and wellness over time. So of course, we can't talk about daily foods without talking about the healthiest fat in the world, and that is olive oil. Olive oil really has so many superpowers. So it can lower your bad cholesterol, it can actually improve your good cholesterol, it can regulate your blood pressure, as well as giving you that healthy, delicious fat that you need. And it is really loaded and packed with antioxidants. So it's a great thing to add to your diet every day, and you should be looking at adding something around 1 tablespoon. So you don't actually want to go more than 1 tablespoon. That will give you around 120 calories. Of course, with olive oil, it is a very healthy fat, but the more you have, it could still make you fat. So you can still gain weight from healthy foods if you overconsume them. When you're buying the olive oil, make sure it's an extra virgin kind, make sure it's cold pressed to get the most out of the antioxidants. Another food that would be great if you added it to your diet every single day are the oats. Now, oats are very healthy because of their high content of fiber. They have so much fiber in them. So look at having at around 1 cup of the oat bran that you can add to your cereals, or maybe 1.5 cups of oats, just regular oats, or even if you're a fan of the instant oatmeal, you can have around 2 to 3 sachets. Those will give you around 1.5 cups. Oats are very filling. You can have it as a breakfast item, top it off with some cinnamon and nuts, or you can actually start using it as a way to coat your foods. So for kids, you can always use it as breadcrumbs. You can always add some to soups or salads to thicken them or give that extra crunch. Now stay tuned, we've got a couple of more foods that you should consume daily to get a healthier life. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So let's take a look at a couple more foods that you can add to your daily diet to improve your overall health. Now, you'd be surprised to know that flax seeds are great foods to add. Not only are they loaded with antioxidants, some research has shown that they can actually help with asthma, they can actually protect your heart, and most importantly is that they can lower your levels of unnecessary estrogen. So anybody that suffers from excess estrogen, that hormone or the female hormone in your body, having flaxseed can actually help lower that hormone. So it's very important that you have around 1 to 2 tablespoons a day to get the maximum effect. And when you are having flaxseed, it's very important for you to grind those flax seeds. So you can't have them whole, or else you won't get much benefit out of them. And when you do grind them, you can grind them for weeks in advance. But what I suggest you do is you put it in the fridge or in the freezer, because it's a very fatty seed. Therefore, you don't want it to go rancid. Another great food item or spice that you can add to your daily life is cinnamon. And you don't really need to add much to get the most benefit out of cinnamon. Around 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon can be enough to give you amazing health benefits. It has really helped with insulin sensitivity. Diabetics have seen a lot of improvement in their overall health. The blood circulatory system functions better because of the antioxidant properties in cinnamon. So definitely a great spice to add, whether it's in your food or in your oatmeal. It just gives you that sweetness, and you don't really need to add much to get your health benefits. Teas are also great foods or drinks to have. It doesn't really matter what kind of tea you have. So whether it's green, black, or white tea, they're all really good for your health, loaded with antioxidants. Aim to have around 3 to 5 cups, and definitely don't add any sugar to avoid the unnecessary calories. Stay tuned, we have a couple more foods to cover. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So let's take a look at a couple more foods that could help you throughout your days. So yogurt is a great food, and not because of its calcium containing properties, but mostly because of its probiotics. So aim to get around 1 cup of yogurt a day. Look at the low fat or the fat-free option to reduce your caloric intake, and this way you'll get so many probiotics that will make sure your gut is functioning in a healthy way.
In most cases, the organisms in our food get mashed around in the mouth, then hit the roller coaster that takes them rapidly into our stomach. The stomach is not a particularly inviting place. Acid is produced in large quantities when we eat. This helps to protect our body and to break down food, and it kills many bacteria that we ingest, including many of the milk fermenters present in dairy products. However, some bacteria, such as these probiotic lactobacilli and bifidobacteria, can survive the acid by having a protective shield, shown here as a halo. This protection can be provided by milk and food, or by leaving the stomach rapidly with the liquid part of the meal. More than half of the world's population, and especially people in Asia, have a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori living in their stomach. Some strains of this bacterium are pathogenic. They are acquired from several sources, including contaminated water. This bacterium can burrow into the walls of the tissue and produce urease and toxin that damages cells, causing painful ulcers and sometimes cancer. Antibiotic treatment can cure some cases of Helicobacter colonization, but in others, the bacteria either resist the killing or return again once the treatment is over. Probiotic bacteria may help in the reduction of these Helicobacter, perhaps by attacking them with antibiotic-like weaponry called bacteriocins, or dislodging them. However, more research is needed to understand this process, while clinical trials will help determine which patients may benefit from ingesting certain types of probiotic bacteria. The dead organisms, along with the probiotic bacteria and surviving fermenter microbes, move towards the intestine, where they come into contact with bile salts, which kill many of the milk fermenter microbes. Many probiotic bacteria can resist these harmful effects, and so they survive and continue their journey. The next stage takes the bacteria down through tissue tunnels into the small intestine. This region of the body is usually over 30 feet or 9 meters in length. It has structures called villi and microvilli, which absorb nutrients from food and form a major defense against disease. The small intestine is home to billions of bacteria, the microbiota, including bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, which play a critical role in keeping us healthy through degrading food, counteracting bad bacteria, and modulating the immune response. Many questions need to be studied, such as what types of bacteria live here, how they communicate with each other and influence the way we feel, as well as whether probiotics can prevent or alleviate certain diseases.
Beans are also great foods to incorporate in your everyday life. Beans are loaded with fiber, so they help with that function of your gut. They'll make sure that everything is regulated. They can lower your cholesterol and improve your overall health and wellness. And they're especially amazing because they are plant sources of protein. But what you do need to keep in mind is that beans are not complete proteins. So it's rare to see a complete plant source of protein. What you can do is you can add a whole grain. So brown rice to any beans, whether it's lentils or black beans, can actually make the beans a more complete protein, and this way you'll get more of your benefits out of it. Another great food to add to your everyday diet is broccoli, and that's because broccoli contains the sulfur-containing compound, really good for your overall health, great for your circulatory system, and it's just definitely an easy food to add. All you're looking at adding is around half a cup a day. So it's very important to try to see how you can add these foods. Blueberries are other great foods that you can add. definitely loaded with antioxidants. The point is, when you're looking at vegetables and fruits, always look at the ones that are brightly or dark colored. So blueberries have that dark blue pigment, therefore that's where all the antioxidants come from. Broccoli has this nice green pigment, again giving it a lot of antioxidants. So these are easy foods to add to your daily life. I hope you'll be able to add them, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you all next time. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to our show, Diet Myths. Today we're going to be talking to you about a very interesting bean that I'm sure you've found in a lot of places, and that's called the lupini bean, also known as tirmis in Arabic. Now, these beans, we see them a lot, being sold in the streets or next to the grocery stores, and we really haven't realized that they actually contain a lot of nutrients, have a lot of nutritional value in them, and could actually be helpful if you take them in your day-to-day life. So now let's take a look at the nutritional profile of this lupini bean. Now, it is a yellow circular bean, and it contains around 198 to 200 calories per cup. And these beans actually are very high in protein. So you're looking at around 18 grams of protein per cup, which is quite a lot for a bean. They also contain around 15 to 14 grams of carbohydrates per cup, and then very minimal fat of around 5 grams per cup. So really a very high fiber or carbohydrate content and a very high protein content. And speaking about the fiber, most of the carbohydrates that come from the lupini beans are fiber. So they are these carbohydrates that are actually very beneficial for you. They're beneficial for the gut flora in your guts, and they're actually not going to increase your blood sugar tremendously. There are many uses for that lupini bean. So you can boil them and have them salted, like how you'd buy them here, or you can actually do other things with them. Now, one of the most amazing thing or fascinating thing about the lupini beans is that it actually contains a lot of vitamins and minerals. From these vitamins, we can say it contains a decent amount of folate and thiamine. So thiamine is a B vitamin, and both folate and thiamine are very important in playing a role with our nervous system. So making sure our nerves are functioning properly, nothing, is too much. And with folate, a lot of women that are getting pregnant are always advised to take folate before their pregnancy. And the great thing about the lupini beans is it provides around 20% of your folate needs. So 1 cup will give you 20% of your needs for a day. Stay tuned, because there are many other things that this lupini bean can provide. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So like we said, lupini beans or tirmis actually contain a lot of nutrients. From these nutrients are manganese and copper. And manganese and copper are really important in your overall health and wellness. They will boost that immune system for you. And so does zinc and magnesium, which are also high in the lupini beans. So they contain a lot of manganese, copper, zinc, magnesium, all these minerals that you actually get from a multi-supplement, they actually provide around 20 to 25% of your need for one day. So 1 cup can actually give you a quarter of your need without that need to refer to supplements and not be sure of what you're getting in.
Let's begin to understand what is going in our bodies. What are macronutrients? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Carbohydrate provides 4 calories per gram. Protein provides 4 calories per gram, and fat provides 9 calories per gram. Let's break them down. Carbohydrates, gotta have them. The body's main source of fuel and easy to use. Every cell in the body can use glucose derived from carbohydrates for energy. Certain carbohydrates help with waste and elimination. Have you learnt about fiber? Get emancipated from being constipated. Protein, got muscles? You need protein for growth, especially important for children, teens, and pregnant women. Tissue repair, immune function, making essential hormones and enzymes, energy when carbohydrate is not available, and preserving lean muscle mass. Fat does not make you fat for these reasons. Energy. Fat is the most concentrated source of energy, absorbing certain vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, K, and carotenoids, providing cushioning for the organs, maintaining cell membranes, and providing taste, consistency, and stability to foods. Food is your safest medicine or slowest poison. You pick. A well-run life.
Now, it's very important to think about ways that you can use the lupini beans to actually get overall health. Lupini beans, can be really loaded with salt, loaded with, for example, preservatives if you buy them jarred. So it's very important that you do them yourself. Another great thing that you can do with lupini beans is you can take them dry and grind them into a flour. This way you can use this flour to make bread and to use it for other things like baking where you do need the flour. And because they're so high in protein, they'll actually become very filling. So a lot of research has been conducted, and especially on Australia, on using the lupini bean flour to make bread. And researchers have found that people that had breakfast that consisted of bread made from the lupini flour actually consumed 20% less throughout the day because they felt fuller. And again, the fullness is probably attributed to the protein and the fiber profile that's found in the lupini beans. Stay tuned, we have a bit more interesting facts to tell you about the lupini beans, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So like we said, this lupini bean is loaded with vitamins and minerals, and it's really important to try to consume it every day, but then within reason. So always remember that a cup has around 200 calories, which could easily add up, especially if you're having it as a snack. I do advise that you try to take the dry beans, and turn them into a flour. Of course, before you do that, for safety reasons, it could be a better idea for you to wash those beans and then re-dry them yourself to make sure there's no dust in them. When using them as a flour, you can try to replace them with your regular white flour or wholemeal flour. Sometimes what I do when I'm not sure if the taste will come through is I'll do a half and half mixture. So half of whatever flour you're used to using and then half of the lupini flour. But it definitely seems to be a very promising food item that we've really taken for granted, but a lot of countries are adopting into their diet. So it really has helped with heart disease because of its fiber content. They're looking at a lot of help in lupini beans with insulin sensitivity, again because of the high fiber and the high protein. So it is a very filling food. You can have it as a snack, you can make it at home, you can turn it into a flour. Either way, just make sure you have that portion control. Again, it's very low in fat, So anybody with heart disease can get away with having a decent amount of it, and it's really filling. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you all next time.